Limited lending for franchise businesses could actually lead to the loss of nearly 100,000 jobs this year alone. John Luther, chairman of the Franchise Association, is here with a lot more on that next.
A new report finds American restaurant owners are not getting the loans that they need, and as a result, 94,000 American jobs will not be created this year. The International Franchise Association report finds that the total cost of insufficient lending is nearly $13 billion. And joining us now is the group's chairman, John Luther. He's also the non-executive chairman of Dunkin' Brands and Arby's. And John, it's great to have you on because we're talking some pretty staggering statistics. You know, the president just signed into act the Jobs Act, is talking about raising taxes as a way to sort of spur this economy. But you find a solution with franchisees. What's the missing picture here?
Well, what's happened is that the demand, franchising, by the way, is growing at a 2% rate. So it is a growth scenario. The economy is recovering a bit, and people are getting a lot more confidence, a high demand for opening franchise operations. But the demand is around $12 billion for capital to invest in opening these businesses. And we feel the shortfall, we think the supply will be around $9.5 billion, so there's a shortfall. And the shortfall, we believe, is going to have an impact to the economy of that $13 billion you're talking about. And as a result, won't achieve those additional 94,000 jobs. However, that 2% growth, we will probably still create about 400,000 jobs. We'd like to get it up all the way. And that's the reason that the IFA is hosting, the International Franchise Association is hosting their second annual Small Business Lending Summit, where we're bringing lenders together with franchisors and franchisees and members of the administration so we can all work together and educate the world on what a great opportunity franchising is so we can continue that growth.
John, franchising is a big part of what Dunkin' Brands does at Arby's, at Dunkin' Donuts, and your other various partners out there. How do you help and make sure that your business isn't suffering as a result of these lending practices? Because I imagine that's something that's big that you're watching on your radar screen.
Absolutely. Growth for all brands is important. However, what we're doing in light of that, and many of our Dunkin' franchisees and our Arby's franchisees have existing banking relationships, and their good work and their good performance helps them in that area. It's when they want to grow to new areas and when they want to grow to new markets, or new franchisees want to join and go into new markets. That's where we have the lending impasse. And what we try to do is facilitate good lending practices by educating the banking community what a good premise that franchising is. So it's like 9 out of 10 franchise stores succeed over time. So the risk is very, very low for banks and other lenders to step into the franchise lending world.
We're watching one thing rise right now. It may not be lending, but we are seeing commodity costs rise, John, and that's something that I know you pay close attention to as well. How's it affecting your business? How's it affecting your customers?
Well, it's, you know, obviously commodity prices come into that supply chain, which put a pressure on our costs of operating our business. At Dunkin', you know, for us it was the wheat cost at one point and coffee went up. But we're a value player, and what we try to do is rework our menus so that we provide new products to offset some of those cost increases to protect the franchisee profits. Thereby, we don't have to raise pricing severely. However, over at Arby's, because we're a roast beef, primarily a roast beef brand, that beef costs are getting very, very high. So again, we're taking our menu and broadening it to appeal to a wider group of people so that our menus are more balanced. And that helps the franchisee because it protects their bottom line, and that's really in the franchising business. Successful franchisees are the
That means more chicken items, more fish items. John Luther of Dunkin' Brands, Arby's, and International Franchise Association, thank you very much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.